Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Okay. Before I get into this final episode review of Maoyuu Maou Yuusha, final episode, episode 12. Guys, go check it out. I did a podcast with Larry Williams. It's not up yet. It's gonna be up tomorrow night. Tonight, I should say. Larry, And that's that story. Also, I think after this video, I will do my review for Kenichi chapter. Now, this is the final episode of Maoyuu Maou Yuusha. This series, there were 3 series that I reviewed episodically in the winter. This one, Urashura, and Kotaro-san. Now, Urashura was slice of life romantic comedy. Okay. Kotaro-san was kind of slice of life in a way. This show had action in it, but it also had a lot of other things. Economics, agriculture, politics, wars, you name it. As a whole, this show is pretty boss. As a whole. Now, the problem with this show, this ending. Unfortunately. Overall, I would probably give this series a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. This episode is getting a 3.5 out of 5. I know. Well, the first half was pretty damn good. I'd probably give that a 4. But, the ending was just, It just felt, it was really opened, like, damn. Open ending. But let's get into it. Pretty much, the beginning part, we see the mage, and she has returned from defeating those demons and stuff, and she's telling, the Winter King, everybody there. This is incidentally where that other guy was going around, the guy who's part of the Central Army, who was trying to kill the heretic and everything, and is telling him she's got a message for the Winter King and everybody from Mao about the chickenpox, well, smallpox, and how to remedy it, and that was the whole bit on that. And basically the story with that is, she said in order to do it, you would need the cooperation with the demons. And that was the whole bit. That was the whole idea of the cooperation with them, able to cure the smallpox and everything else. The rest of the episode after that was back with Yuusha. And he was fighting Mao, who has been possessed by the other demon kings. And he's able to, wrestle with her with that scythe, and Yuusha's fucking strong. That was an interesting thing. He was able to hold her down and say that she's mine and a whole bit. And the name of this episode was, obviously, she says, "I am back, hero. You sleep too long." Now. And that's what happened. She was able to snap out of it. And Yuusha then heals the headmaid's wound. He attaches her arm, which is, come on, that was crazy. And the rest of the episode, we see other things happening. For Mao and Yuusha, what they did was they go and they she goes in front of all her people, the demons, and explains a few things here and there, and she interprets it the wrong way, and they think, oh, we're going to war, we're going to beat the humans, yeah! And she wants to have a correlation, a meeting of all the races, and that's what that whole thing was about. And Yuusha tells her, I'll be by your side, don't worry about it, and so on and so forth. The rest of the episode had to do with the female knight. She took the forces that she had and confronted the guys who were going to an attack this encampment. And they attacked them by dividing their forces and so on and so forth. And then they saw the snow coming down, and then reinforcements have arrived. The snow. That was supposed to delay everything. Then we had the elder sister maid and the younger sister maid, and they were getting attacked by the same guy who was behind the whole thing with Mao being accused of being a heretic. The guy who was getting the teachings from Mao shows up when they get attacked, and he's about to kill them. That guy fights back against this guy and, rolls him down the bell tower kind of thing. But he doesn't die, the soldier, but the other guy does. The evil bastard does. And then we have pretty much a scene with the mage confronting something in this river with this magic circle there. Something along those lines. And the rest of the episode, and this is what pissed me off about Descending. Now, something did come from this when she came back, Mao. She says, she convinced them that the potatoes were not a evil demon fruit. A demon's, was a heretic kind of thing. It was not an evil vegetable or fruit that demons would use to kill people or something like that. She convinced people about that from the central nations about it. But the thing that pissed me off is that the church, there's a scene with the church, and they apparently going to go after Mao from this whole thing with the priest and everything. They even got a weapon they can use against her. And that scene is left there. It doesn't go anywhere. It's like, that happens. And I said the whole thing with that, and she coming back, Mao, with Yuusha. And Mao has conversation with the female knight. And she's... This was funny. She says, I gave it to him. You what? I says, the sword, not my body. That was so funny. And that's what happened. And then after that, and I mentioned the whole thing with the potatoes and stuff. But that's where it leaves off. And it ends. And, everyone's in bed and everybody leaves. You got the little sister maid and the older sister maid sleeping. Yuusha's sleeping. And she's talking to the head maid, Mao. And the head maid saying, oh, you really do love people. Yes, I do. And that's where the episode ends. I was like, I'm like, the church is still after her. The church of the light spirit. So what basically, the only thing that seemingly happened was they stopped the smallpox disease, and they she convinced people in the Central Nations that she's not a heretic, kind of. Except she has convinced the church. So, in this regard, the series gets a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, at least, because of the whole series as a whole. But this episode was lacking. Very much so. Very open. Very open, because the whole thing with the church seemed... But don't get me wrong. There was success, because the whole thing with the curing of the smallpox allowed them to coexist with demons, in a sense. So that was accomplished. And like I said, it was that, and the thing with the potatoes. But other than that, this was very open. And the reason why it was very open to me, I don't know the reason, because it's weird, because, like, the church is still after her in that scene. So are we getting a season 2? Now, for better or worse, I think this was the adaptation of the light novels of this show. Now, hopefully that's the case, because the manga adaptation, man, it sucks. I hope this wasn't the manga adaptation, because if it is, oh god, help us. But overall, it was still a good series. As a series overview of it, right now, I give this a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, maybe 8 out of 10, but I don't want to push. The fights were good when they appeared. Like very few with the wars and everything, but they were overall not too bad. So yeah, there was that. There were good fights, and this show was half and half. It wasn't just about that. It was about the economy, agriculture, politics. All these. Well, not politics, but religion. There were different facets, vast facets of this anime. So yeah, there's that as well. But overall, like I said, give the final episode a 3.5 out of 5, only because the whole thing with the church just seemed left there. Just left it. It's like someone just took it and said, okay, here. Now just put it there. Didn't do anything. So, because of that, I personally think they need to do a season 2. Because of that. But overall, the series was a good series. She was able to come over that whole thing with Yuusha. And, overall, I thought it was good. But, personally, not as good as Spice and Wolf. Not as... Spice and Wolf's a little bit better. And maybe it's just me, but because it's probably because Spice and Wolf more has to do with the economy as a whole, agriculture more, and less with wars that this show had. So yeah, that's another thing. But overall, I still like the show. I still would say go check it out, but it's probably a good series for the winter, but it would not make the top 5. It'll be in the top 10. That's what I figure. So yeah. And that's all I got for you guys. So yeah. This has been Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. It's a good show. It's a good anime, Yuusha. Check it out. But remember, it probably belongs in the top 10. So yeah. After this, I will do Kenichi review. The series reviews, the anime series reviews, I'm going to leave them for rather Sunday or Monday. Sunday is huge. And tomorrow, oh man, I'm busy with reviews. And I don't know if I'm going to do the anime series reviews. I'll be able to sneak them in. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be Sunday or Monday. Most likely Monday because of Game of Thrones. Oh yeah, bitches. So yeah, that's the story. But anyway, this is Bonkai 922. Yuusha was good. It's just the ending was very open, and I thought they could have done something there. So yeah.